Today we're taking these massive boulders and finishing this killer pond. Hi everybody, it's Jack from Atlantis Water Gardens. Today we are finishing this 14 by 20 Serenity Elite pond. Most of the rock work has been finished in the last episode. If you haven't seen that, check it out right here. Get up to speed. Today we're focusing on building a really beautiful cascading waterfall. This pond is part of a larger project which is going to feature a swimming pool, patio areas. There's going to be a new deck off the back of the house, making the whole backyard extremely interactive. The grade is actually going to come from about here all the way up in this area. There'll be a large patio that surrounds the pond, making it so you get right up against it. We've got some feeding rocks that'll go on the edge where you can get right up close to the water, feed those fish. And we've also got this retaining wall that you can walk up to and see right inside the pond here. Sit on the edge, feed the fish. Again, very interactive. Now this is a very flat backyard. We've got to build up that whole area where the waterfall is going about 3 feet high, which means we're going to carry that berm about 7 or 8 feet off of each side. That's going to involve setting large boulder outcroppings to make it look like it fits into the landscape, stepping it down as it goes so we don't end up with that vertical volcano effect, which doesn't look very natural. We got a beautiful day here in Morganville, New Jersey, and it's time to get started. It is late in the day on day 4, and we've still got a bit of work to do if we want to finish tomorrow. All of our plumbing is in from the skimmer up to where the biofalls is. It's important for us here in the Northeast or anywhere where we have freezing temperatures that the plumbing is pitched from the skimmer up towards the biofalls. This way in the wintertime, when you pull the check valve out of the skimmer, all the water can drain out of the biofalls, down the plumbing and back into the skimmer, and nothing gets trapped inside the pipe. Drew's just finishing up his biofalls hookup. Well, so this is where the waterfall starts. We're gonna have it cascading down into like a small pooling area. Then it's gonna go off that large rock and spill into the pond. So besides that, we've got to build an entire berm up to the height of the biofalls. Now, we don't want it where it's just a hard angle coming down. We're gonna start way out here, do some boulder work, shelf it back, another set of boulders, and then probably a third set. So this way it kind of steps up. We've got some terracing. Then they can do a really great job of landscaping it and kind of stopping your eye here. Get some plants up behind the biofalls. Your focus will then stop at the waterfall down into the pond. But that's for tomorrow. We'll see you on day 5. Well, we got day 5 here, and this water feature is getting finished today. I hope. First thing this morning, we're gonna get this waterfall built. We've got to do some frame rocks in here and then create our weirs for our spillways. The backside of this berm is going to be a big job. We're gonna use quite a bit of rock here. I'm guessing somewhere around 8 tons. I do have a rock I picked out that I want to start with for the waterfall. The way this is shaped, it's got a nice flat spot here, and then it comes up on the side, which will create a shoulder containing the water in here. I'll have to frame something else in front of it here, maybe even step something down so the water kind of cascades and steps down into the pooling area. Not sure yet, but we're gonna bring it in and give it a try and see how it looks, and then go from there. And that's really how waterfall building works. You've got to start with something that you think is gonna make sense, or something that you really want to use, and then try to marry up next to it. That saying, the rocks speak to me, is true. We've got water in the pond, and the waterfall is just about finished. Anthony's working on things like installing the dosing system, running our chase out of the skimmer over to where the power is going to be for the pump cord. Our aerator is going to be in place over here. We got water in the pond. We have about another 5 inches to go on this, which was gonna take about an hour. But this is looking great. I love the way the boulders look poking out from the water surface. And when that waterfall gets going, oh man, this is gonna be awesome. A lot of our grading's been done on the outside edges here. You can see we finished up along the side of the pond. Now we're leaving this kind of unfinished here because there's going to be a patio here eventually. So they're gonna have to do some subgrade work, which means they'll be excavating next to this stuff, taking some of this dirt out and then putting down a compactable base. A lot of our outcropping is getting finished over on the sides of the waterfall, and the waterfall just looks spectacular. We're gonna completely disguise that biofall so you don't see that whatsoever. This is gonna be left for lots of room to plant landscape plants in here. We wanna see things that are growing over the rocks, stuff that maybe is weeping over where the waterfall is. You could do some nice specimen plants in here, like maybe Japanese maple or a weeping Atlas cedar, and then have some height in the background. Now I've still got a bit to do around the backside here. We're starting to get our grading done so we can do our outcroppings with the boulders, but that's the major part of what we have left here. You can see we've got a good 6 or 7 tons left on the ground here still to work with. And just look at how much dirt we took out to make all this happen. This is where the pool is going, and all that dirt is up on this mountain now. We've got only a couple more hours of daylight, and we really want to get this finished. I have to see that waterfall run tonight. I'm pretty sure that's a reality. But it's all those little things like cleaning up, like picking up all the garbage, the finished grading, like removing any rocks, then trucking the machines out of here. Like all that stuff on the back end could actually put you into another day, which I think is what's gonna happen here. But this pond's getting finished. I don't care what anybody says. Not even you, Drew. We pushed hard yesterday to get this done. We did get the waterfall running. It looks spectacular. I'm not gonna show you that yet. You gotta wait till the end. But we've got just a couple things to finish up here. We've got a chase pipe that comes out of the skimmer. It's gonna go over to where our power is. That's gonna be for the pump cord. This way, I don't like burying the cord in the dirt. I wanna put it through a pipe so that if you have to get the pump out, you don't have to tear half the landscape apart to get to it. If we do that, we'll get the wire over to here. It'll be easy just to pull it back into the skimmer if you need to remove the pump for any reason. Pond is pretty much finished. It's full to the top. Like I said, waterfall we got running last night. That's all done. Brandon and I this morning are going to work on installing some flagging. We've got this nice big pieces of flagging. We're going to work into this edge of the pond, make a nice approach so that the kids can come right up to here and they can feed the fish, interact with the pond on this side. And then I got to come around the back here and finish up with all this boulder retention. It's not going to be a wall. It's going to be very similar to what you see here, where there's staggered boulders, dirt coming down in between, some more areas like that. That's going to leave lots of room for planting. After that, we can just do some rough grading, get these machines loaded up, and we are finished. Stick around, guys. It is not going to be long. Trust me, it's worth it. This, after seeing it last night, I never want to leave this place. This waterfall and the pond look incredible. Let's get this done. What a project. This turned out magnificent. I am in love with this pond. We'll start with the retaining wall. That was the first thing to go in. You can see we framed the outside edges of it with these rock outcroppings, bringing that natural feel into that more formal retaining wall. We got that on both sides. We've got lots and lots of room for planting. Once the landscape is in here, it's gonna bring this all in. It's gonna look just like it's framed out for a picture, because you're gonna have landscape on both sides and the windows right here over to the pond. This edge is perfect for interacting with the fish, brings you right up to the water's edge. I love the way that Boley did the stonework here. We've got the moss tucked in. Once the aquatic planting goes in, this edge will just be full of lush aquatic plants, and we're gonna mimic that here on the left side. We've got our signature 1000 skimmer, which is the heart of our filtration system here on this pond. We've got a faux rock lid, easy to lift up. Inside the skimmer, number one, rigid hard plastic basket, super durable. It's got a lot of room in here for debris. The really cool part about this skimmer, you can close this door and it's got a snap on top, and watch the pump it down. And you can actually work dry in here. So once you pull the basket out, you can get to that filter mat. That's nice and dry. Pull it out, wash it out, put it back in. If you got excess to pump, that's super easy also. Put everything back together, open that door up. Water comes back in, floods the chamber, and you're up and running again. This is the overflow. So this is adjustable. Right now, we're set at optimal water level in the pond where the water's skimming in through the door. If we had a heavy rain event, the water level would raise up, go out this pipe, and we ran drainage all the way out to the backyard, so it'll just dissipate into the backyard. The rock work in this pond is just awesome. I love these big boulders poking out from the water surface. Anthony and Brennan did a great job putting these flagstones in up against the edge. Once this is done, there's going to be a larger patio here along with all the landscaping. It's going to be a destination point here in the backyard. This waterfall is just breathtaking. I absolutely love the big rocks coming out. That rock goes in the water another 2 feet down. The same with this one. So there's a lot of structure coming out from the water surface, framing out this nice big sheet, and then it takes you up to this large pooling area where you've got the waterfall coming out from the biofalls. The way I built this was I kind of layered everything back, starting with this rock here. What I liked about this one, it's got this natural shoulder on the side of it, kind of contains the water. We've got it so it's running across it and just dumping water off in spots. Then we got this big one back here that's feeding that, as well as dropping straight down. And we snuck a little one around this side, kind of the same thing we always do. Boom, little waterfall out in front. And you've got that little bump at the top coming out of the biofalls. For me, nothing takes more away from the enjoyment of a water feature than looking at like liner and plumbing sticking out every place and all these components that make the pond work. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see any of that stuff. When it's done, I just want to see beautiful rock work, amazing waterfalls, aquatic plants, and super interactive areas, and I think that's what we did here. I will most definitely be coming back to visit this pond once all the landscape, hardscape, pool is done, so I can share that with you guys, because as good as this looks, once it all comes together, it's gonna look 10 times better, I promise you. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments. How did we do on this job? Would you want this pond in your backyard? What would you change, if anything? See you guys on the next one.